Hey guys, welcome to ANX Gamecast, level 110. I'm Unbiased Ann, and I'm here with Genesis and Mike B. How's it going, guys?
Woody woo!
What?
Trying something new.
Okay.
He's excited.
Oh yeah.
He's excited to be here.
There ain't one otaku out there that knows what you're talking about right now. But okay.
There's a couple of them that know.
I'm good. I'm sleepy because I was up too late playing a game. Trying to beat it.
Well, what are y'all excited to talk about today?
Mike?
The Book of Bantorra.
Yeah, so round two. Always round two. Conversation.
Resident Evil.
The first one?
No.
What, were we supposed to play the first one?
3.
Resident Evil 0 on GameCube?
I'm underprepared.
No. 3.
Resident Evil 3.
Yes.
The remake or the original?
Remake.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and do the social media thing. How about that? Follow us at ANX Gamecast everywhere. All social media outlets and everywhere you get your favorite podcast. If you want to see this video or if you're currently watching this video, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends. AVersion TV on YouTube. We are the one that is not in Spanish.
Sharing is caring.
Who?
Sharing is caring. Share with your friends.
Share with your friends. Y'all keep talking about something because I forgot to pull something up.
Ooh, can I tell you about the Book of Bantorra?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh,
Have you
man.
watched any of the Reading Rainbow? That guy is supposed to be reading the books like he did for Reading Rainbow.
Oh, he's doing it again?
Jordy.
He's coming back?
Yeah.
What?
He's still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
LeVar Burton. I went.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was some great conversation there. Y'all ready?
Hey,
Oh,
you
I
put us
kinda-
on the spot.
Wait, I kind of want to get into this now. You told us to talk about it. Now I didn't know he was doing a new Reading Rainbow.
You know what that means.
Butterflies in the sky.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, come on.
Round 1.
Let's get into round one. Let's talk about the anime that we're currently watching.
Mike B.
What is this?
Finally, the Book of Bantorra.
That sounds like Spanish.
I don't know, but I just like saying it like that because it sounds like it should be said like that. But anyway, it's a pretty cool little anime. I kind of was just looking at the different trailers of different animes, picked it up. Apparently, the premise is there is some library school, like library type place where when people die, your soul turns into a book and people can actually put their hands on it and actually re-see like all of your life history and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So it's pretty interesting.
Is it in Spanish?
No, it's not. You know, you would think it would be Book of Bantorra.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I like doing this right here.
Okay. So is it's not in Spanish, but is it in English?
It is in English. So you do have it in English. You have it in Japanese. So, you know, sub and dub.
All right. And was it made sometime in the last 20 years?
I mean, yeah.
It was?
I mean, I mean, I watched stuff that far back.
Yes, you do. We be
I
talking
probably
about,
do.
like you do realize it's 2020 now.
So 20 years ago was 2000.
Yeah, so 20 years ago was no longer 1980.
Oh, you know what? That is true. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
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 I'm old now. I forgot. Anyway, no, it's actually pretty cool though. You have your main like lady who's actually over like the whole library. She's supposed to be like this.
Is she a librarian?
Apparently, they're armed librarians.
Armed?
Yeah, armed
Like
librarians.
guns and
I seen like 2 guys with guns. The other ones of them, they're like they have weapons apparently.
so it's like Call of Duty in a library.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. I got into it. I watched the first episode. I was like, I'm not gonna be into this. They kept hitting me with the cliffhangers. Before you know it, I'm on the second disc, and I'm like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
So you know, it's pretty decent. You know, the action in it is all right. You know, it's not like no One Punch Man type level or Mob Psycho.
There ain't no action in One Punch Man.
Oh yeah,
He punches them one time.
I mean, when they get into the action, they get into it. I mean, you know, like Genos, when Genos starts fighting, you know, that kind of stuff.
So anyway, what you got over there? Speaking of fighting,
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Balls.
Why you always watching this violent stuff? People just fighting all the time.
It's not very that violent. So let's see what has happened. Goku got eaten up by the snake that pulled him into some princess's house that tried to kill him.
Oh, yes.
I think you said all that like in reverse order, but okay.
No, he was walking, remember, and he looked and the snake went and pulled him into the house.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he got away. Long story short, he got away. The snake tried to follow him. He tied it up into a big knot, basically. Okay, what else happened? Gohan realized that he was on an island, decided to build a boat to go home, but the terrible weather said, nope, that's not happening.
Nah, son.
And Piccolo split into two and has been fighting himself.
Sounds like Piccolo.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, I think, what happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're preparing for those Saiyans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Getting ready for the Saiyans. So, do you like these episodes?
Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I think most Dragon Ball Z fans hate these episodes.
Well,
Mike?
Well, it's because they're filler.
Excuse me, I was going to say, I've always been opposite. I've always liked the filler.
Yeah.
But you have like the hardcore ones who hate it, but then you have like your other ones who are like, I actually liked it. If they never knew it was filler, they say they like it.
Well, I don't. So you talking about the real definition of filler? Because we had this conversation before. Or are you talking about the commonly used definition of filler?
Probably more commonly used.
You talking about the commonly? Yeah. So that's why I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because it's filler that I don't like it, but the filler episodes have a certain tone to them that don't really match up with the rest of the anime, and that usually goes for filler for any anime. Honestly, it'll be a random trip to the beach for this.
I thought we had a lingering disaster happening.
Right, and so that's why I don't like it. But I don't know. I'm sitting there watching and I'm like, oh, I hate these specific episodes so much. And it's like, she's not going to want to watch it anymore. Which might be okay with me because it's like 300 episodes that I've seen already. But, whatever.
Nope, I'm still good.
Okay, she's still good. Speaking of still good, you know what I'm watching? Neon Genesis
Evangelion.
Oh,
cool. Awesome.
Okay. Man, it's so dope.
Still pretty awesome.
So like I literally want you to stop watching Dragon Ball Z right now. I never thought I would say that. Don't watch Dragon Ball Z anymore and let's watch Neon Genesis.
Yeah, but then you'd have to start all over.
Well, it's not 300 episodes like Dragon Ball Z is.
Yeah.
It's you're gonna have to take a break at some point with Dragon Ball Z. You can't watch 300 episodes straight. So
challenge accepted.
Better than Gilmore Girl reruns. But anyway.
Hey.
Huh?
I love that show.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, whenever you're ready to take that break, we can either get back on Attack on Titan or we can do Neon Genesis.
Or you can watch the Book of Bantorra.
You know what that means.
Next.
It's getting around too.
Round 2.
Conversation piece. What did I say we were going to talk about? I said we were going to start off with you because you had a question.
Okay.
And we think it ties in with the conversation we were going to have. So let's see. Let's hear it.
Okay, so it's more of just a general question.
Okay.
What do you consider a short game, medium game, and long game? As far as, do you do it by hours?
It definitely depends on the genre. But generally speaking, yeah, it's gonna go by the hours, and sometimes not even the hours. Like I feel like if I really wanted to, I could have put in Resident Evil 3. And beat it in one sit down. So that's
and let's be clear, when we say beat, we mean you see credits.
End credits.
And if
y'all don't know what we're talking about, go check out our last weekly update.
But okay, so do you think like 30 hours is a short game?
No.
30 hours is a short game for RPG.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's see what I'm saying?
Let's talk about what about games that are, I know these aren't all the same, but something like Resident Evil, Fallout, those type of games where there is a true story.
So Fallout is an action RPG, so 30 hours would have been really short.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Resident Evil is survival horror. 3 is not really survival horror. It's more survival action, which is something we were talking about, which made it even shorter. I think.
Yeah, it did. Significantly.
Yeah. So, like I said, it depends on the genre. So, Resident Evil is not an RPG. So, talking about it with Fallout is kind of...
Okay, you can't compare those.
No, like Resident Evil, you might throw it... Even though it's two totally different types of games, like a Devil May Cry. Something like that. Which is also made by Capcom. Does Capcom just make short games? Anyway.
Either way, you know, there's a
Street
thing.
Fighter. Oh,
Even Dino Crisis, right?
Hadouken.
Okay, I was just curious because yes, it did come up in one of our previous podcasts. About whether something was short or long or whatever.
Pause.
Yeah. So, but that makes more sense because I tried to Google it too, and it does make more sense that you have to be specific on the type of game.
Well, I mean, look at like games like Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter, like the story mode for that can be like real short, I guess, like maybe like a couple of hours, but like the replayability of it, because you can keep grinding on the game. Shoot, I have like 800 hours on there.
That's also a Capcom game.
Yeah.
So another short Capcom game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like I said, but generally speaking, I would say if you sat down and played a game for 6 hours and saw end credits, regardless of the genre,
that would be short.
That's a short game.
Yeah.
I think generally speaking, games are getting shorter across the board. Because I don't remember like the first Devil May Cry being short. I didn't think it was like long, but I don't remember it was like, oh, I'm already done with this. It seems like more and more games can be beaten now in less than a week.
You know what? I think
with casual play, not hardcore play. Because hardcore play, you can beat a lot of games in a week, right?
Yeah.
But with casual play, you can beat a lot of games nowadays in a week.
Yeah. No, you actually can. But you know what? That's something I actually want to kind of bring up, is the fact that like that kind of works for some people for the game to be shorter versus it being long, because like, for certain people who work like 5 days or even 6 days a week, where for someone who can just kind of sit down and burn through the whole game, it's super short to them. But for somebody who's like, man, I can only play like an hour a day, those kind of games kind of turn into like, oh man, now that's taking a long time for them then.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, isn't that why they put it into hours then instead of how many days? Well, usually it seems like when they talk about how long it takes to beat a game, they'll say the amount of hours.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot of games that take days, literal days to beat. You can play them for days. The only one that really takes days is like MMORPGs, and you still put them in hours just because everything else is in hours.
Exactly.
Those are the only games that actually take days, years, literally years to beat. But as far as your point though, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's good for the people who don't have a whole lot of time to play, but it's just like I don't know. I don't like it.
You want me to tell you the thing about it? I have a main problem with the game. Like, I mean, so one of the main problems I think that kind of hurts this game is the fact that this game right here is, okay, I feel like this game right here is probably just as short as Resident Evil 2. But the problem is that Resident Evil 2 had more content and stuff to do for replayability.
Shorter. I don't know. I feel like Resident Evil 2 had more puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that made it longer just by itself.
Exactly.
Now, as far as more stuff to do, I don't like puzzles, so I would not have even wanted to play 2 over again.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play 3 over again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
So if I had to pick, I dislike puzzles, but I also dislike action. These action-based games, but I dislike puzzles more.
Yeah, no,
if that makes sense. So I dislike them both, but I dislike puzzles more. So I wouldn't play 2 over again, but I would play 3 over again.
You know, here's something that I was thinking about. I've seen a couple of videos where some people were talking about how they would get stuck trying to figure out puzzles in Resident Evil 2.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 2 is like, okay, I can't figure this out. It's too hard. Now, I've been playing Resident Evil games. I played all of them. And so when I came across them, I already remembered like, oh, okay, key's going to be here. Password's going to be this. You got to read documents because
right.
The stuff is on the documents.
Yeah.
So I feel like because there was a lot more, like you said, puzzles, that's what made the game feel even longer. Because in all honesty, when you watch people speed run these games and you already know what to do, you can like, I think I was like trying to burn through the game like within like 4 to 3 hours just so I can get a high rating, like score on there.
Right. So let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about these short games. And so, generally speaking, do you like these short games?
Not necessarily.
No,
Not for $65.
right?
No, not for $60.
And I think that's the problem. Even though you got, I don't want to say good mechanics, but for Resident Evil, these are good mechanics.
Yeah.
For a normal game, and that maybe not so much, right? But compared to where it came from, oh my goodness, those old Resident Evil games, the original took longer just because you would die just because of the bad mechanics in the game.
Tank controls. And stuff.
Yeah. So it just made it longer. So I don't like them either. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like we're getting ripped off a little bit by these companies, especially these big name companies, Capcom, and you're putting out a game where you have an achievement in the game to beat the game in under 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how are you charging somebody $60 for a game that can be and kind of is designed in a way because you want people to get this achievement to be beaten in less than 2 hours? That's $30 an hour.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I feel like they should have, like, I don't know, maybe they will do it later on, but I feel like this game should have had like some kind of day one DLC rather than the game feeling like a DLC.
Well, they had the online mode that I didn't play.
Yeah, I didn't go into it either, but like
I don't know. It didn't. Well, now we kind of get into the review of the game. But anyway, it's I feel like my personal opinion is that I feel like we're getting ripped off here.
Yeah.
Your Resident Evil games and remakes are really not designed to be released every, I guess, 2 years. I'd rather this had came out next year and it had more story, more background, more something.
Yep, I agree.
Super short. Because I can't even say that I casually played this game. I didn't play it until like I just had to play it. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't even think casual is the right word.
Shoot, man, I didn't pick this up until my buddy bragged and said, "Yeah, man, I already beat it one time." It was like I'm about to beat it again, and I was sitting there like, "Hold up, wait a minute. You're trying to speed run this, and you beat it that quick?" Nah, I sat down and then I tried to start speed running it.
Right, like Sonic.
Got to go fast.
So yeah, so I want to go a little deeper into the conversation though. I just don't know what direction I want to take it. Super short games versus, so let's talk about it, versus super long games. Do you like long games?
I mean, yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind longer games.
When you say longer, you mean kind of like a Fallout 4 length?
Well, it depends on what it is, though.
Not Final Fantasy 13 or you're in the trenches or whatever you were talking about the other day.
11.
Yeah.
In the dunes.
Like 7 years.
No, that's an MMORPG.
Okay.
But even Fallout is like super long game.
Yeah.
So I'm not even talking about those. I'm just talking about like a 50 to 60 hour game versus a 10-hour game.
I feel like it's just like what you mentioned earlier. It's kind of like if it was like a story mode type deal, I wouldn't want it to be extremely long depending on what type of game it is though. I mean, I do like longer games, but I wouldn't want it to be like repetitive and I'm sitting here like, man, like when am I going to get to the ending? Because I have done that before.
So how about this question? I think this is the main question I was trying to get to. How do you feel about games that were specifically designed to be beaten over and over and over and over again?
I don't mind it if they have enough content, kind of like what Resident Evil 2 did. Like if they add like enough content and stuff in there where it's like, okay, even though you went through this little mode with this character, you can go through with another character, and then you can go through with like the Agent Hunk scenario. Then they had so many different ways you can go through the game.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're essentially doing the same thing. So
yeah, but it was like different. I feel like if it gave me something with more content or something like that in those terms, I wouldn't mind. Kind of like how can I say? I can't even think of an example. It was going to be a bad example.
Oh, okay.
It was going to be Odin Sphere because technically you're going through like the same thing over and over with those characters.
Yeah,
but that's a decent length though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not feeling this style of game. I feel like there have been some games in the past, like a Devil May Cry, that was just long enough where it was kind of short, but it wasn't short enough for me to want to play it again.
I see.
Like, I want to play RE3 again, and I will, but that's not the norm for me. So it's like, okay, I'll go ahead and do it this time, right? But constantly buying games like that, and you unlocked Nightmare Mode, you unlocked Super Nightmare Mode, play it again. Now it's just the same thing, but the enemies deal more damage and have more health. It's like, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's not a question of the day because it's not the ANX weekly update, but comments down. Put the comments down.
I actually want to know what people think too. Do they like shorter games? Or?
Do they like shorter, long games? Whatever you want to comment. Or do you prefer and like these games that are meant to be beaten over and over and over and over again? Y'all ready to move on?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Let's get into round 3.
Round 3.
What's this? Review for Resident Evil 3. Mike?
Let's get into it, man. Okay, so like we were talking about, now I can actually start getting into this real hard. Like I said, when I heard that my buddy had sat there and actually like beat the game and he was trying to speed through it again, I was like, wait a minute. I'm sitting there like, you just beat the game? Like, how long was it, for one? So starting up with the game, I went ahead and threw it in. And
see, that's why your PlayStation was broken and you had to buy another one because you're always throwing stuff.
What? Man, just a little bit, man. So I show love, man. But anyway, it's like when I went through, I put it in and I stopped because I played like a little bit of it and I stopped because I said, man, I'm going to have to invest a lot of time solving puzzles and doing stuff right. But anyway, when I was going through, surprisingly, there wasn't a lot of puzzles in this game.
No. And some of the puzzles that were in the game were optional.
Yeah.
So it was like, whatever.
I have a question. You know what? Should I start with the bad for this right now?
I don't know. You want to put the camera, you don't put your mic all in your face. But
well, because I want to go in.
You say start with the bad. You never say anything bad about anything.
No.
Until we stop the recording, then you start bashing stuff, and it's like
he's got something to say today.
Like, why you didn't say that on the podcast?
No.
You know why?
Let me. I want to go in about some of the bad stuff, and then I want to go into some of the good stuff. One of the bad things I've noticed about this is that, for one, okay, this isn't a remake. This game is a reimagining of Resident Evil 3. It wasn't kind of like with Resident Evil 2. I went back and I kind of watched it, and it was really kind of faithful to like what they were doing in there. If they did something in 2, they did something very similar, if not the same, in the original game, for the remake. For 3, this kind of went off into its own little thing, which I feel like this series, I guess the Resident Evil games, I guess these are supposed to be like a reboot of the whole thing, because in all honesty, I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm like, okay, they're trying to make 3 coincide with 2 a little bit more, where I guess there's no more plot holes. And, I feel like that kind of hurt the game a little bit because I played 3. I played the original. It was pretty cool. But this one right here, I was like, this isn't the stuff that I did.
So let me talk about, I don't want to say the bad, but I didn't feel like playing this game. Was I excited for Resident Evil 3 Remake? Yeah, Resident Evil 3 was one of my favorite games for the PlayStation. However, I didn't feel like running from Nemesis. The thing I remember most about the PS1 game was running from Nemesis.
Yes.
They remade this game, and all the big action scenes, you just ran from Nemesis. So to me, I felt like outside of the story, 'cause I'm not saying I don't care about the story, but I mean, whatever, right? It's just a lot of people who did a lot of things and half of them are dead now. So it's like, whatever. And there's a virus and the people turn into zombies and they're trying to cover it up and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Back then in 98, well, whenever 3 came out, that was a big deal because zombies weren't like they are now. Now we done had a million zombie shows, so it's just like whatever. This story is not that unique, and we had all the Resident Evil movies. Right?
But can I say it was kind of weird timing for them to go on and on about this virus?
Yeah,
it's
for
deadly
real.
and it's killing people and it's spreading. I was like, this is weird timing.
Why is that?
because we have this virus, you know,
What
the
virus?
coronavirus.
What y'all talking about?
It's kind of funny because I took a screenshot. On the wall, there's a picture that says, make sure you wash your hands.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God.
So weird.
Makes me
Okay,
sad.
go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like that was mostly what this remake was a let's make an action survival horror game and have you run from Nemesis.
Yeah.
Outside of that, the game was pretty basic.
Yeah, it was much more basic than Resident Evil 2. I mean, y'all have already kind of said that, but I thought that too. I was just like...
Now, don't get me wrong. The parts with Nemesis were harder than the parts with...
Yes.
Mr. X.
With Mr. X and Old Hat Man in 2.
Mm-hmm.
But you were running from him while having to solve puzzles.
Yeah.
So the puzzles would slow you up and then he'll come and punch in the back of the head.
Well, see, here's the thing about it. And that's something that kind of frustrated me was with 3 right now, they added so many elements from Resident Evil 3 that made that game so good, and they implemented into Resident Evil 2. Because I noticed that the 360 turn, the combining of ammo, the fact that you had a pursuer that was constantly chasing you throughout the stage and who could go into rooms. Right. See, Mr. X couldn't do that. He was more scripted. See, they sit there and flip the script on Mr. X in Nemesis. That's the thing about it. So, you know,
I could say also that Nemesis was too scripted because half of it was like just cutscenes.
Exactly. It felt like watching a movie.
It was just watching a movie, which, man, I wanted to save this for the Final Fantasy VII podcast, but I'm don't know how I feel about companies that continue to make games for a specific audience. Not for, so for example, they know we're going to buy a Resident Evil 3 remake regardless.
Yeah.
But let's dumb this game down and make it easier so everybody can play it. No. That's not why I like Resident Evil 3. Because it was dumbed down and easy. What? I will hate your game for life for doing that.
Yeah, you want that challenge. You want that fear in you. Oh,
and outside of some, you know, stuff just randomly jumping out at you, this game wasn't that scary.
No.
It was scary to me, but I'm also scary.
But, okay.
I mean, okay, it wasn't scary. Okay, it was a little scary, but I'm more like, oh my God.
Have you on the edge, right?
Yeah, I get real tense and I'm like,
don't get bit by that zombie.
Well, for somebody who was freaked out about Mr. X, I can see how this game would still be scary to you because, again, Nemesis was still Mr. X times 10.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude had the tentacle. He had the rocket launcher. He kept evolving and getting bigger, and he seemed like he knew karate in the beginning.
For real.
I was like, what?
He's been training at the dojo.
I was like, did he just do instant transmission? Like, how did he get in front of me?
Because the dude was so fast.
Yep.
Like, okay, here's the thing about it. I didn't like how they made Nemesis teleport. Like, they did make him teleport on there, which I was like, I don't like that on this game. I was like, leave him like how he was in the first game, where this dude was just chopping at you.
Right. That's the thing that didn't happen. He walked slowly throughout this whole game, but in the original game, no, he was sprinting, running at you like full speed.
Oh, okay. They slowed him down a little bit.
A little bit.
A lot.
I mean, a lot. I mean, I was just hobbling along and I was shaking him, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And I was slow as I don't know what. I was shaking him, you know?
Oh, you know, I love that weave action. Man. Oh, check me out now.
Yeah.
Nemesis. Oh, you can't catch me.
Oh, yeah. They slowed him way down. Now, I don't know if playing on Inferno mode or whatever, maybe he's running in that mode. I don't know. Or maybe maybe it's just a one hit or quitter. If he hits you once, you're dead or something. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm not at the point where I would say that this was like a disappointment or anything. It was just, no, the main disappointment outside of, regardless of the gameplay, it's just the length of the game.
Yeah.
So the first time you beat the game, what was your times at the end after the credits?
You know what? I believe that
he
mine was...
He ain't even look.
No.
He was pressing A. He was like, give me my trophy.
My trophy. No, I actually think mine was like 6. I believe so. The first time it was like 6 hours. And that was mainly because I was trying to find like certain parts. Like I was running around looking, like I was actually just walking around looking at stuff, looking at like, oh, look, it's the RPD. oh, look, there's that right there. Now, if I just would have ran through, like my second playthrough time, oh my gosh, like it's kind of sick how fast I'm getting through the game right now.
Yeah, so mine total, like they had 2 times on there.
Mm-hmm.
One like total playtime including deaths, right? And then the actual time it took you to beat the game.
Yeah.
So my actual time to beat the game was 6.5 hours, and then the total time with deaths was like 8 hours or something like that.
Oh, okay, I see.
So it had 2 different times up there. So I will say this game was a lot harder than 2, outside the puzzles. 2 had the puzzles that were difficult to figure out, and you could not progress until you figured out the puzzles.
Right.
That's why I hate puzzle games. This one was harder just because it was more action based, and them zombies will come after you.
And those sewer things and
the
big,
hunter betas.
Oh, there was a lot of like big enemies. I felt like in this one.
So it's it was just the thing I didn't like about it though is that there was a certain, I don't know if it's the same for everybody, because maybe you wasted a whole bunch of ammo and now you're using a different gun, and that gun is better against certain monster that I was having trouble with because I was still trying to use, whatever. I don't know. But there was a certain sequence of events that you needed to do to get past a certain part. I didn't like that. This game seems very, linear. I didn't like that. So it was a lot of load. Okay, go over here, jump over here, kill that person, run in there, get the save. Okay, now I'm running over here. Oh, a person came out of nowhere and got me. Crap. I think I probably wasted 2, possibly even 3 hours on the game on that one part because I refused to heal myself. I didn't know the game was that short. So here's ANX Pro tips if y'all ready. The game is short. It will give you other items. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. That was my thing. I'm trying to see what's going on my... Oh.
You got an alert?
Yeah, I'm getting alerts on my watch.
Is it Nemesis?
No, it's something from Xbox. I thought it was going to be Pokemon Go. It's an event going on right now.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Is Nemesis going to be in it?
So it's 2 different things. Like I want to play Resident Evil 3 again, but there's also like a Pidgey event going on in Pokemon Go. So it's just like...
Dang, that's messed up. You going to do the Pidgey event over the Resident Evil?
Yeah, 2 different things.
I guess they should have made the game better then.
Hey, I don't have a Pokemon shirt though. I do have an Umbrella Corp shirt. So anyway, ANX Pro tips. They will give you other items. It's not this long, lengthy game where you gotta stock up on items and stuff like that. Just go ahead and use it and keep going. I wish I would have done, like I said, I would have shaved probably 2-3 hours just off of that. But I was like, no, I can get through this without healing. Like I was literally walking around and I had 1 green herb and I was in the yellow. But I had to get past probably 10 zombies total.
Yeah.
And 4 or 5 different rooms to get to my next checkpoint and save point.
You know what I feel like they should have done? Now that you mentioned, this is something that I was thinking about. Like, this is when I know, okay, they need to do a little bit better to fix the game. Even though I like it, I still like it. But I was saying to myself, because this was more of an action horror type deal to me, that's what it felt like.
Oh, yeah.
Because 2 was like survival horror. With this one right here, I feel like they should have thrown multiple waves of zombies at me. Like, because when I got to the end of the game, I was like, I have a whole box full, like a whole like ammunition for like an army back there. And I
didn't even get none of that. As soon as we got to the last spot, I'm like, where's my big gun at?
Yeah.
I found my big gun. It's like, okay, now what is the little trick to beat him? Okay, cool. After I beat him, I went and picked up all that ammo.
Yeah.
Which I didn't need.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is,
stars.
For one, I had too much ammo. 2, I have that weave. Like, okay, because you've seen that Jill has a weave action, right? She can weave in and weave out. Once I kind of got that down, like every time a zombie tried to get me, weave. And then I was like, oh, I could do a second one too. I didn't even use shots. I just weaved in and out of enemies.
So I didn't always have a lot of ammo, but I always... Because I was so familiar with the game, I was always using the ammo that you were supposed to use for whatever enemy was there. Just because it made it faster. So once the zombies started kind of having more health and you couldn't just kill them with, like the ones with the thing that will come out.
Oh, yeah. Right. The parasites.
Yeah. Good luck with a pistol on that dude.
Yeah.
Even if the pistol's upgraded. shotgun. Because I don't have time. I only got time.
That pistol was like not good.
And so ANX Pro tips. The first time around, did you upgrade your pistol? No. So ANX Pro tips. I got mentally prepared to run from Nemesis. I don't know how many times I got to say this. So when Nemesis came, I ran because you can't square up with Nemesis. What you talking about?
Exactly.
But I think the first time I fought him, I did see that like electrical generator thing, and I was like, next time he goes over there, I'm gonna shoot it and I'm gonna electrocute him.
Yeah.
So apparently I had the right idea. That's what you're supposed to do. If you do that at certain points of the game with Nemesis, again, ANX Pro tips, he will drop a weapon upgrade for your pistol, which would probably greatly help you because that pistol was trash.
Yeah.
Right.
It was.
However, how many times do you want to die trying to actually do some major damage to Nemesis? So I just ran because that's what you do, right? It's Nemesis, right? And so I never got any pistol upgrades.
Yeah, my first
I think I got one.
either.
I got one. That might have been in safe or something, but I think he dropped 2 or 3.
I only got one from him.
And like I said, the one I have, I didn't even get from him. And the only reason I realized he had it is because there was he was in that room and we were kind of running around the room. I'm trying to shake the thing off the vent or whatever it was.
Yeah, the vent.
So I finally ran around and I found some explosives barrel or something, so I shot it and then I was able to get through. Cool. When I did that, I got an achievement, got a trophy. And I thought I think it was called Down Nemesis. And I thought it was just for downing Nemesis because he was down and I got away. No. I read it. It was like down Nemesis and have him drop like an item for you. I was like, drop an item?
It's like, wait a minute.
What the Vegeta?
You didn't even realize it.
Man, I ain't even
because he ran.
Yeah.
I mean, he was trying,
It's Nemesis.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't scared of Mr. X. I felt like if I really needed to, I could have,
Yeah.
I could have. But Nemesis?
Well,
I ain't fighting on Nemesis. And that's another. Let me skip ahead here.
Let's go.
You even laughed at it.
What?
When Jill was like, I got this.
Oh, yeah.
You go after him. I got this.
Oh, yeah. The one at the end.
I'm going to square up with Nemesis. I got this.
Oh, yeah.
Was that Nemesis?
Yeah.
No. At the end.
Yeah.
That big, huge blob?
All this was Nemesis.
Oh.
The whole time.
Oh, I thought it was just that big guy.
It was kind of cool when he came back with, was it the rocket launcher in the beginning?
Oh,
like
yeah.
He got away from him the first time and then he came back through the...
Yeah, threw the deal down. I was like, what was that?
I was like, oh, man.
Now, okay, that's another problem. Okay, with Nemesis, it's just the fact that, like I said, he was really cool. He was really awesome with the weapons and stuff that he had, right? But I don't know, like, okay, I feel like a lot of people, I was watching people who were saying that they like Mr. X or Nemesis more, right? A lot of people said they like Mr. X more because it was more scarier because he kept chasing him and stuff, right? And I was like, man, like, no, like, you guys don't understand. Like, when you played the old school Resident Evil 2, man, you could like just down, like walk all the way down to the end of the hall. Mr. X is going to take forever to get to you. He was no threat. Nemesis was like jumping through windows, sitting there opening up door. Like when you heard the door click and you're like, what was that in the old school Resident Evil 3? Yeah. You were scared because you were like, zombies aren't supposed to be opening doors.
Well, you probably heard me say that a couple times. I'm like, did you hear that noise?
Oh, yeah.
And there was noise, but
nothing came.
So I was like, okay.
Okay. There were only 2 things that scared me in this. Not technically 3 things that's technically scared me in this game. Like legitimately. One was the Hunter betas that came out the sewage. When that thing came out, I was like, what is that? That scared me.
What are those?
What are those?
The second, another one that scared me was the fact that Nemesis can actually come into the safe room. That terrified me.
So I heard that, but I never saw it.
My friend said the same thing. What I did was, because see, when I first saw Nemesis, I said, you can't go into the safe room. I ran over there to the safe room. Let me go get my rocket launcher. I just see this dude like, excuse me. And I was like, no way. and he actually came in there.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I read about that before the game came out or right when the game came out. I don't know, but he never entered any safe room I was in. But at the same time, I felt like I did really good about not getting stuck while running.
You want to know why you didn't see him like that? Because he wasn't in the game long enough for you to, in that mode to do that to you.
Oh, because it was all cinema. But I mean, here's my thing. If I would have went the wrong way, then maybe. I'm not saying you went the wrong way. I'm saying you made a conscious. It sounded like you made a conscious decision to go get a gun to go fight him with.
Yeah, exactly.
But that wasn't the right way to go.
No.
So I can see him coming in there because here's the deal. And I even said this about the original Resident Evil 3. Nemesis in the original game could kill you, right? However, same thing in this game. He is there to point you in the right direction. For real, for real. That I mean, not on purpose, not like he's trying to get you to go to a certain location. I'm not talking about like that, but it's like
kind of a subliminal though.
Like you need to go that way. I'm going to chase you that way.
To force you to go that way.
I have to force you to go this way because that's the next place for you to go in this game.
Yeah.
And so that happened in 3 in the original, and it happened in this remake. So I just ran. And I'm like, okay, I see you want me to go that way. Okay, I'm gonna just go that way, like with my knowledge from the original game. So I never got kind of stuck on corners or walls running from him. Maybe like once or twice. Like the first time I was running from him through the subway, I think, or trying to get back to the subway station. And I took a wide angle around that corner. Nope, that was the wrong thing to do. So it's like, let me hug this wall and make a sharp turn, and I was able to get away. Other than that, he didn't really bother me that much.
No, he didn't.
Even there was times when I was fighting him and there were like zombies around. The zombies gave me more trouble than he did because he was so slow. So
I see. I think Mixer X was a little scarier because you couldn't always. There were times where he would just show up, like all of a sudden he's right there. Whereas it seemed like with Nemesis, like you knew he was right there. He made a big old scene, and
Well, sometimes you didn't, but it wasn't that scary because it was a CGI cutscene.
Exactly.
There was nothing for me to do.
But like you said, but with Mr. X, what made him more menacing was the fact that you're in a giant police building, and you hear this dude just footsteps, doom, 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 and then you're like, okay, he's walking away. Then you try to run out there, you're doom, 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 and you're like, oh shoot, he's over here now. Like that was scary
because there was a buildup.
They had that a couple of times in this one, where you could hear him walking, especially in that beginning scene, the opening scene, when you were in the apartment or whatever.
But you know what? Like I said, there wasn't with my second playthrough after I beat the game and I knew what to do. I said, okay, if I do this right here, Nemesis is gonna activate. So what I did was I ran through and did all the puzzles. I mean, I did all the puzzles in the first, before you get on the subway train. And I was like, okay, I got everything. And then that's when I went and activated Nemesis. Now, with the other game, it was kind of like, okay, once you go with the original, once you go into police station and you activated him from there, he's just chasing you throughout the whole game.
Yeah, I feel like if you just, if you stopped and was you were just stopped and you were just in a location for any period of time, he'd come after you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just randomly. It's like, oh shoot, like, let me stop playing around. Like, I would have loved if they would have made it where like, okay, you need to get away from him in order to solve this mission or this puzzle, And then they should have made him say stars a little bit louder too.
Yeah,
I couldn't hurt him
because the whole time for the past 5-6 years, I've been saying stars around you. You didn't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. We finally played the game. This fool barely even get the words out. You big dummy.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because I think I heard that the original dude who did Nemesis, I think he died, so they couldn't get him back. But but with him, I couldn't even. I had to sit there and turn up the volume and heard him stars.
Yeah,
I said, what?
Yeah, it sounded like he was hurt.
Yeah, like.
It's like.
I still didn't know what you were talking about. You kept saying it, and I was like, I never heard him say it.
Yeah, he said it.
Exactly.
That's all he says.
Yeah.
He don't say anything else.
Stars.
So he's just after to kill everybody,
In stars.
Here's another thing. Kind of rant a little bit. I just want to rant real quick. So in the original game, I feel like what they should have done too with this one, I feel like they should have left Nemesis as kind of a mystery, kind of like they did in the first game. Because with this one, it was just more of I forgot. Oh my gosh! Now I'm trying to remember how he popped up again. In this one, it was like she was just trying to run from him. Oh no, he came from the very beginning, so she knew who he was from the very beginning of the game, right? Which that kind of threw me off because in the original game, it was more of Brad was sitting there like, we got to get out of here. He's coming after us. And
well, that's kind of how it started. He called her.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, you need to get out of here. You okay? And she was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden.
But you're saying she already knew who he was though when he busted in.
Yeah, like he already showed up and it was like, oh, got to get away from him. Oh no. But like, I feel like if they would have kept alluding at him like, hey, there's some like bad thing coming, we need to be careful, like type deal, and then throw him in front of us like that.
Well, and that's what was weird. Like, you might not have known that was Nemesis, but they kind of did do that. They did both at the same time. They gave you little notes and all the journals and stuff that you were supposed to read, but they didn't call him Nemesis. They just referred to him as Project N. Right? For a long time before you ever saw Nemesis. Right?
A long time?
Now you talking about from the original or
no? This one.
It seemed like he showed up really.
No. That's what I'm saying. They did both. He was up there around for he had this thing on his face in the beginning, right? But you didn't know he was Nemesis.
Oh yeah, the actual creature.
Right. Like you didn't know he was Nemesis.
No.
However, the whole time I'm reading journals that says Project N. So I know Project N is Nemesis, and that's Nemesis running around trying to chase me, and that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But they, you see what I'm saying? But they didn't. They did. It was a long time before they actually said Nemesis.
Oh yeah.
The name.
Yeah.
In the game, or something that you read that actually said Nemesis in it. So they kind of were like keeping them a secret. Oh, Project N. There's this Project N. You know, I don't know, man.
I know what you mean. Now, like I said, if this game kind of has me split because I do like it because I mean, in all honesty, it was actiony. I do like playing it. Like you said, I don't like doing puzzles, so I was able to run through it. But at the same time, I'm like, I played 3. I had high expectations for this game, and they switched up how stuff worked. I remember in the original, you had to make it to the clock tower in order to try to get out of there, and they gave you that false sense of, all right, I beat the game because it feel like you've been playing for a good minute in that one. And then it's like, oh, helicopter down. But see, they skipped a lot of that. And I felt like that could have hurt a lot of playing through the game with Nemesis chasing after you. Because in there, they did have the restaurant that I remember from Resident Evil 3 where Nemesis came into the back. Because another thing they did, I know the creators of 3 said it was a hard decision for them, which I say they should have done it. They had it where, remember, they used to have like the heartbeats where Nemesis is walking up to you and you're like, do you fight or do you run?
Right.
Like they should have
choice.
Like they should have done something like that, like have him drop right there. And it's like, oh my gosh, do I jump out this window or what? Even with the restaurant, like when I went to the restaurant, I was like, oh, he's going to pop up, isn't he? Nothing happened.
Yeah. As far as expectation, I didn't have really big expectation. My only expectation was that it was going to be very similar as 2, and that they were going to fix all the things I didn't like about the original. Graphics. I'm not saying I didn't like the graphics. Graphics at the time were great. They don't hold up now at all. Like the original game looks like trash now, right? So graphics, mechanics,
story.
No, those were my biggest problems with the original.
Oh, okay.
And they obviously greatly improved all of that.
Oh yeah,
right.
absolutely.
So it's kind of like that's all I expected. Let's apply this Resident Evil 4 engine.
Yeah.
2, 3,
over the shoulder.
I'm saying a lot of numbers right now, or words that sound like numbers. The Resident Evil 4 engine that they used to create the game, apply that to Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what they did with 2. Applied it to Resident Evil 2. So that was my only expectation, was to run from Nemesis, have better graphics, and better mechanics.
Yeah.
So that was my only expectation. As far as, like I said, the story, and if they were true to the original story and all that, like I didn't necessarily care too much. Well, like I wasn't that invested in 3 was my favorite one because of Nemesis.
Yeah.
Which again they gave us Nemesis, and the fact that it was graphically and mechanically way better than Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, I was like, okay, finally one that's playable. Because to me, the first Resident Evil and the second Resident Evil on PlayStation wasn't really playable for me. Like, I didn't enjoy it, and I was like, eh. Then I got 3, and I was like, okay,
Yeah. Well, I mean, in 3 they implemented the dodge system.
Yeah.
Like I said, the 360 turn.
Yeah.
Ammo, and I mean, they added a lot of stuff to this.
It felt more complete. Like
exactly.
A complete game.
Exactly. So, I mean, we've been talking about Nemesis this whole time. What do you guys think about the look of Jill?
It didn't look like Jill.
Look different?
Yeah.
The more modern version of Jill?
Yeah, it didn't really look like Jill. I was like, okay.
I don't know what the original Jill looked like. But I thought she was pretty cute.
Yeah, she was cute. Oh, yeah.
But it didn't even look like Jill.
It
didn't look like her to me.
They did kind of, I think they probably found like somebody who looks similar to her, and they used her model, because I was sitting there like, okay, Leon, yeah, that's Leon right there. And Claire, that's Claire. When I look at Jill, I'm like, Jill, you look a little bit different,
Yeah.
Jill.
I mean, you look good, but you look a little different.
So
Jilly,
she got some work done.
Yeah, she had some work done.
Yeah, it was just something weird with her face.
Something weirder face, like
weird with her face. It didn't look like Jill.
Was Carlos an original character?
Oh, Carlos was in there. Carlos. Oh,
he ain't had no
Carlos.
accent like that. Get out of here with your anime talk. He ain't had no accent.
I love Carlos.
You love Carlos?
Oh
okay.
my god.
So he was an original character too.
Yeah. Oh
okay.
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm excited now.
Stop saying you love dudes on the show.
I'm sorry. Carlos was so cool. Okay. Original Carlos. It's like, okay, Carlos. He has short hair.
Yeah.
He looked real basic. Looked like he just had like a vest on with some guns and everything. This one, I love Carlos's accent.
What accent?
I mean, well, I loved how he was. I liked how he talked and how he,
okay.
Like, I love just the fact that how, like, in the beginning, him and Jill had like so much tension between each other, and it's kind of like, hey, kind of like he's somewhat hitting on her, but then later on it starts turning into like respect. And
later on, you mean like 20 minutes later?
3 hours later.
I forgot, not a long game.
He looked like a wrestler with that like wet curly hair all the time.
I loved it.
No, I'm just saying, like
Triple H.
Yeah, all of them. They all come out with like, they got to drench their head in a bucket of water before they come out on stage.
Yeah. All I gotta say is that Carlos didn't look basic. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. Original Carlos looked basic to me. I like this new look for Carlos.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because think about it. When you go through the section of the game where you actually get to play him, one thing that I liked is when he went. Okay, so I know a lot of people say, "Oh, we didn't get the police station." Technically, you do, but just with a different character. But with Carlos, I loved how when you looked at stuff, he talked with it, and I kind of wish that Jill did more of the same thing too, because it was fun. Like when he walked through the door, like, now this is a weird door.
Yeah,
like you said.
Yeah, because it was.
It's like
stupid puzzle doors.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Then did you have something else to add on that, or?
No, I mean, it might sound crazy, but there's certain parts of this game that made me feel like they started making this before they made 2.
I know, right? It was kind of weird. They did try to make it coexist with the second game.
No, I mean, like they started developing the remake of 3 before they did the remake of 2. I don't know if it was the graphics. I felt like maybe some of the graphics were better in 2. It was something about it where I was just like, and I think even that part that you just mentioned made me think of that, because it's like, oh, they done made all this stuff with Jill. Now they done made the part with Carlos, but now like 2 has been out, so now you're making all these jokes with Carlos. But like you said, Jill she never says any random things when she's walking around. It's exactly. Did y'all create this a long time ago and then decide to go and make 2 instead and then come back and finish 3?
I know, right?
Because I was just like, I don't know. It was something just weird. I had a weird feeling about this game as I'm progressing through it. But anyway.
But, that's one thing I like. That Carlos did do stuff like that, and Jill didn't really do that too much. I mean, I don't recall.
She lame. She did in the cutscenes.
Yeah.
She would say stuff. I got this. I'm gonna get your nemesis. Get my pistol. Give me my pistol with no upgrades. And then the cutscenes, I'm gonna be shooting nemesis in the cutscenes with my pistol.
That's another thing that made me think too, like with the whole movie, the whole kind of movie deal, right? Where it was more cinematic. When you look at Resident Evil 2, I don't feel like you had necessarily like a ton of the scary stuff wasn't happening too much in the cutscenes. Like you may have an important pivotal moment that they show is happening, but kind of like the first time
they have more story in the cutscene and less of the action.
Exactly. So my thing is, don't sit there and show like, oh no, zombies are invading. No, show it like I'm running and out of nowhere, these zombies just kind of crash down and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know that was going to happen. Like I feel like if they would have done more stuff like that, but it's so weird how there's so much I don't like about it, but I still like playing it though. Like by itself, if I've never played the original Resident Evil Nemesis.
This would be dope.
This would be real dope.
Yeah, if I never played the original.
Yeah.
So
I didn't play the original.
So did you like it?
I did like it, but I didn't like it as much as Resident Evil 2. I had that feeling like right off the bat. Even in the beginning, I was like, I don't know. And then the more time I gave it, like I started getting more into the story of this one. But at the end of the day, because I know I like watching you do the puzzles. I liked all the figuring out what all the codes were to the safes and the locks, and even in the locker room when you had to find the buttons, and you know there's all this hidden stuff in 2 that you had to it would come back around, and it just felt like there was more to it. There was more meat to it in 2.
Pause.
So I still really like this game, but I just like 2 better.
So when you played when you started your speed run, did you buy any of the stuff in the little store?
I bought the ammunition deal.
Ammunition. So what did it do?
So when you have it on you, whenever you combine ammo.
ANX Pro tips: after you beat the game, they let you buy stuff that helps you through your next run. Go ahead.
When you have the ammunition deal, like from the original game, that's actually from the original. Whenever you combine ammo, it makes the double amount.
Oh, okay.
So,
So with me, I haven't started my second playthrough, but I was going to go with, because I think I have enough points to buy 2 of the smaller amount things. I think I'm going to go with the wire cutters, what are they called? The bolt cutters and the thing to pick the locks with.
Okay, cool.
Because a lot of times I did spend a lot of time in this game going past things that I couldn't unlock. To eventually get the lockpick and have to go
way back.
I had to go all the way back.
Yeah.
So if I just have it from the beginning, boom, boom, I get it and I'm good. And not only do I get it earlier in the game. So I can use that shotgun right here in Act 1, even though it's not broken down by X, versus not being able to get the shotgun into Act 1-3. So now I can get through Act 1 even faster because I got shotgun from the beginning. So that was going to be my, that was going to be mine.
What you're going to do on your next playthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was sitting there thinking like, should I get this outfit right here for Jill? Nah, I want some ammo.
I mean, unless the bulletproof vest actually does something.
Hey, for real.
Because this is just her running around in some jeans.
But you know what? Like I said, man, like after you beat it, that was the only thing they really kind of gave you was just, you can buy extra weapons and stuff, which that's cool. That's awesome. But when you look at like Resident Evil 2, it's like, here, you can play this other character. Oh, you can actually play like Hunk and go through his story mode. And I think there was another mode added on to that. So there was so much replayability in different stories and different things you could have seen from it.
I'm never playing 2 again. I'm gonna go through and finish it because I never finished. I'm pretty sure we're right at the end, but I'm not playing 2 over. Yeah, I'll play 3 over. I ain't playing 2 over.
You know, that's the crazy thing. I don't want to play it either because I don't want to do those puzzles.
But exactly. You know what I do like doing, and he doesn't like it.
What?
I will look it up. Like I'll Google what's the codes. What are the codes? Because I just want to get through it. Yeah. He's like, stop cheating. I'm like, but okay, but that thing that you need, that extra pouch, it's gonna be in the library.
You know what did I say?
He won't tell me. He's like, stop talking.
I said I don't need that.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have. I don't need that. I'm gonna win regardless.
And he's like, stop spoiling. Stop trying to cheat.
Because she'll just go off. She'll start acting like
Mike B.
she'll just go off and spoiling stuff. You know?
But but it's my way of helping.
She is helping. She's your oracle.
But it's so short of a game.
Well, and
you know?
and I've realized, honestly, whether I tell you or not, you're gonna find it. Because most of the time when he tells me to stop talking, like he's like, stop, don't tell me, he'll find it. So I don't really think it matters whether I tell you or not. You always find it.
Yeah, well, we just got to make sure to say that on wax so everybody out here knows, because I don't want to hear no lip from
Mike B.
or Terrence. Be like, I saw her giving you all the codes to the safe. Well, she already told you right now.
Hey man, I wouldn't do you like that.
She be trying to cheat, and I be shutting it down.
Oh my gosh!
But
you
now
have to do it legit, huh?
Yeah, do it legit. But now that y'all know that I do it legit, I can start cheating.
You know
Come on,
what?
give me them codes.
I'm not gonna lie. Like Resident Evil 2, I legit did everything. Like solved them all, did everything by myself. Like yeah, I figured all that out. I'm not gonna lie. Resident Evil 3, if she was giving me those codes, I'd be like, yeah, what's the code to this safe? I'm gonna mess up Nemesis today.
Well, you know what's
sorry.
crazy? I mean, I knew it was going to be short because when I looked up the codes, that page, like to scroll down, I mean, it was super short. There was only like 5 or something.
Yeah.
The one on Resident Evil 2, man, it was like, it had to break it up and divide it in all these sections because
Like maybe there's another page.
there
where
was a
codes are at.
ton. Yeah, I was like, that's it?
Maybe I should buy another.
I get it. I get what he did.
I got. Look, now that you know what stars means, now that you know what smiley means, I got to come up with some other stuff you don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry, man, but like, I feel like if they would have just stuck to the original, go ahead and let Jill run through the police station, let her go to the clock tower, let her go through the park, you know, and let her go through the restaurant and all that stuff. I feel like it probably would have been longer. And then 2, it probably would have, I think they would have had more puzzles because.
Well, I think just having those different sections in general would have made this seem longer because you spend a lot of time in this running around in circles. And really, if you really look at it, it's like a small space. You just run around in circles in a small space. Even when you get to the hospital, you just run around in circles at the hospital.
Yeah.
And it's just like I guess it's cool, but it's like.
But you know what? In all honesty, I'm not going to lie. I actually like playing the whole Carlos part more than I did the actual story, man.
That's because you like punching people because you violent.
Yeah, man. I didn't even realize he had a punch with his little deal.
Falcon.
Oh, yeah, that was cool. That was helpful.
Punch. So anyway, y'all ready to get into a score or two?
Yeah.
A score or two?
Score
don't we-
meaning price.
Don't we
Yeah.
do the price? That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because I was be like, score. I got a price.
What you got?
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. If I have to do it right. I got to say it just right. Okay. Because I played the original Resident Evil.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
I'm saying $20. I'm sorry.
$20?
Yeah, $20, man. I'm sorry. It felt like a DLC to me. I'm sorry. Like I liked it. I really did. But I feel like this is something I feel like some other people say too. They could have actually added this to Resident Evil 2 and I would have been like, yeah, you know, it's probably about right, the right amount of time and everything, you know, but by itself, I'll probably say $40. I'll probably say 40.
Wait, what? I'm confused.
So
20 or 40?
So I guess I'll go ahead and say $40. I'll stick with 40.
He had to talk through it. That's what I would have said too. If I usually don't participate in this, but I would have said probably 45.
Oh, I was just making faces at the camera.
You're thinking too long. What is it?
50.
You do 50?
Yeah, it's 10. I got it 10 less than Resident Evil 2. I think as a full game, Resident Evil 2 is better.
Yeah.
Right? It's a little bit longer because of the puzzles. It's a little more complex. There's more strategy involved. Less of these weird action scenes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, do I like the character of Jill Valentine and do I like Nemesis better? Yeah. Like, generally speaking, yeah. Like, I like that better. But as far as a game, I gave Resident Evil 2 a $60 price tag. I'm going to get this one $50.
Well, we're not too off. 40, 45, 50.
I'm not paying for they already got me. Never mind.
You already paid full price for it.
Yeah, I know. That's what come. I'm like, I ain't gonna
He's
get
like,
me.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna fool me.
Wait a minute.
Fool me once,
wait a
shame on
second.
you. Fool me twice. You're not gonna fool me twice.
Nah, not twice now.
Crazy Bush. Let me not say that too loud, for they send the Secret Service after me. Anyway, because you know he live up the street.
Yep.
Anyway, so you got anything else?
They made Nemesis transform way too quick.
Yeah. I know this is not how it goes, but I kind of wish honestly, I wish the transformation was backwards. I kind of wish he started off as this big thing that couldn't move around and blow it up. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, it's gone now.
Maybe a little mini version coming
and
out.
now bring it, the smaller version back that's a little bit more mobile and agile. But I can't really tell if that's Nemesis or not, because it's okay. And then eventually get back to the one where he's standing up, walking around, shooting, doing ninjutsu and all that. I would have liked that better, but I know that's not how it goes.
Have you noticed the lack of boss fights in this? I mean, like, there was a boss fight, but
it's like all the boss fights were just the bigger zombies or the bigger monsters, bigger creatures.
Well, I mean, it was just Nemesis, just like, I'm gonna just run around in circles, and because my thing is, okay,
like the things in the sewer, that was like a boss fight.
But when you go like to Resident Evil 2, you had like William Birkin, like his mode where he's sitting there swinging that pipe around.
So you just gonna got used to fighting Wesker. That's all it is.
Yeah, I do like Wesker. I call him Johnny Ferrero.
That's all.
But
you want a Wesker fight?
Yeah, now that would be cool. But no, like seriously, like okay, Resident Evil 2. I mean, you actually did have to fight like William Birkin. You actually had to do some other stuff. I mean, I don't know, maybe there wasn't that many, but I mean, it wasn't like the Chimera area. You remember when you had to go into the electric area, right? Where you had to turn on the power? I was like, that could have been a boss fight. You turn on all the power before you leave. Let there be like some giant Chimera coming after you, and you have to like run down the aisles. And then maybe that could have made it better.
I wonder if they were going for a more realistic approach. Obviously, it's a zombie, so can't be real. But if there were zombies, is it going to be a million zombies everywhere all the time, like Dead Rising? Probably not. Right? If we go to the gas station, it's probably only 4 people at the gas station right now. Why would there be 10,000 zombies at the gas station? Or this big, huge warehouse. Why would there be 10,000 dead scientists inside of just, there wouldn't be. There would be 10. And it's a big building, so there's going to be a lot of downtime because it's like, oh, there's nobody over here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I'm just going to buy this on PC and turn Nemesis into Thomas the Engine.
I need you to find something else to do. Like maybe play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
How about that?
That is very tempting, but Thomas the Engine is too.
He's not.
He's for 7-year-olds.
Mike be trippin'. Mike be trippin'.
Mama Mike.
You know what that means.
Time to wrap it up.
It's time to wrap up the show. Let's go ahead and do this social media thing real quick. Hold on. Let me see what kind. I got a button. Okay, there we go. Let's do the social media thing real quick. Make sure to follow us at ANX Gamecast, all social media outlets, and wherever you get your favorite podcasts. You want to watch this? It is available. There's video. You can see Mike dancing, talking about Thomas the Tank Engine. Right?
Yeah.
AVersion TV on YouTube. Look us up. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. We are the one that is not in Spanish.
That's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening to ANX Gamecast. Join us next week where we will have our full Neo 2 review. See you next time.
Stars.
Rawr.